Importance of continuous AML program reassessment. An effective anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing AML/CFT program is not a static framework but a dynamic system that must continuously evolve in response to changing risks. Financial institutions operate in environments characterized by regulatory developments, emerging technologies, evolving criminal methodologies, and changing business activities. The CAMS framework emphasizes that institutions should regularly reassess their AML programs to determine whether existing controls remain appropriate and effective. Periodic reviews help identify weaknesses, emerging threats, and opportunities for improvement. Continuous reassessment ensures that compliance programs remain aligned with the institution's risk profile, regulatory expectations, and strategic objectives while maintaining protection against financial crime. Internal factors triggering AML program reassessment. Various internal developments may require institutions to reassess their AML/CFT programs. Common triggers include significant growth in customer volume, expansion into new markets, introduction of new products or services, organizational restructuring, mergers and acquisitions, technology upgrades, and changes in business strategy. Internal audit findings, compliance testing results, increased suspicious activity reports, control failures, or staffing deficiencies may also indicate the need for program review. Changes in customer demographics or risk profiles can alter exposure to money laundering and sanctions risks. Institutions should evaluate how these developments affect existing controls and determine whether enhancements are necessary to maintain effective risk management. External factors triggering AML program reassessment. External factors can also significantly impact AML/CFT risk exposure and necessitate program reassessment. Regulatory changes, new legislation, updated sanctions programs, enforcement actions, geopolitical developments, emerging financial crime typologies, and revised FATF guidance are common examples. Institutions should monitor changes in high-risk jurisdictions, terrorism threats, corruption risks, and technological innovations that criminals may exploit. Industry trends, regulatory examination findings, and publicized compliance failures at peer institutions may also provide valuable insights. Effective AML programs incorporate mechanisms for monitoring external developments and assessing their potential impact on policies, procedures, controls, training, and overall risk management strategies. Implementing necessary AML program changes. When reassessment identifies deficiencies or emerging risks, institutions must implement appropriate program changes in a timely and documented manner. The CAMS framework emphasizes that corrective actions should be risk-based and proportionate to the identified exposure. Potential changes may include updating policies and procedures, revising customer due diligence standards, enhancing transaction monitoring rules, improving sanction screening controls, strengthening governance structures, or increasing staffing levels. Institutions should establish formal change management processes to ensure that modifications are properly reviewed, approved, communicated, and implemented. Effective change management helps maintain compliance while minimizing operational disruption and ensuring consistency across business units. Policy, procedure, and training enhancements. Policy and procedure updates are often necessary when regulatory requirements change or when risk assessments identify control gaps. Institutions should ensure that revised policies clearly communicate expectations and responsibilities across all levels of the organization. Enhanced training programs may be required when new risks emerge, controls change, or employees assume new responsibilities. Training should be tailored to relevant job functions and focus on practical application of updated requirements. Communication strategies should ensure that employees understand policy revisions, procedural changes, and compliance expectations. Documentation of training completion and implementation efforts provides evidence that the institution has taken reasonable steps to address identified risks. Assessing risks associated with new products and services. Before introducing new products, services, technologies, delivery channels, or business relationships, institutions should conduct formal risk assessments to evaluate potential money laundering, terrorist financing, and sanctions risks. This process is commonly referred to as a New Product Approval (NPA), or New Product Risk Assessment Framework. The assessment should examine customer types, transaction characteristics, geographic exposure, distribution channels, beneficial ownership risks, and potential vulnerabilities to financial crime. Compliance, legal, operations, technology, and business stakeholders should participate in the review process. Identifying risks before implementation enables institutions to design appropriate controls and avoid introducing products that create unacceptable compliance exposure. New Product Risk Assessment Model. The CAMS framework promotes a structured risk assessment model consisting of identification, evaluation, mitigation, approval, implementation, and monitoring. Institutions should first identify inherent risks associated with a proposed product or service. These risks are then evaluated based on likelihood and potential impact. Appropriate controls, such as customer due diligence requirements, transaction monitoring rules, sanction screening, and reporting procedures, should be designed to mitigate identified risks. Senior management approval may be required for higher-risk initiatives. Following implementation, institutions should conduct ongoing monitoring to determine whether controls remain effective and whether actual risk exposure aligns with original expectations. Escalation to senior management and the board of directors. Certain internal and external factors require escalation to senior management and, in some cases, the board of directors. Examples include significant compliance deficiencies, major control failures, regulatory enforcement actions, sanctions violations, high-risk customer relationships, emerging financial crime threats, adverse audit findings, and material changes to the institution's risk profile. Escalation is also appropriate when substantial resources, strategic decisions, or governance oversight are required.